If you've been Googling around trying to figure out what Kajabi is all about and whether Kajabi is the right place for you to build your business, today is a great day because you're going to get to see inside of my Kajabi account. I'm going to show you all the products that they have. I'm going to show you their email marketing, their website builder, everything that Kajabi has to offer. We're going to take a quick look at it today. Now, this isn't a training for all the details of how to use Kajabi. I have those videos separate on my channel that you can go check out. Today is just a very quick overview of everything that's inside of Kajabi. So this is great for anybody who has not yet signed up for Kajabi and you just want to see what it's like before you kind of pull the trigger and check out Kajabi yourself. Now, if at any point during this video or after the video or anytime in the future, if you really do want to go in and kind of tinker around and play with Kajabi yourself and you don't really want to pay for it, you can grab a 45-day free trial using the link below in the description. With that, you're going to also get some exclusive bonuses from myself. And this is going to help you kind of get things started. So grab that link, join for 45 days, check everything out. And then if it's not for you, you can just cancel. You don't have to pay for anything. Now, depending on when you watch this video, you may also see on our site a 3 for $99 deal. So 3 months of Kajabi for $99, which is $33 a month. This is the best deal that Kajabi offers. It is actually better than a 45-day free trial for anyone who is committed to come into Kajabi. If you want to know really the comparison between the free trial and the $99 deal, go over to my channel and you'll see it in the list of videos. I do a full comparison between the two so you can make the best decision for you. Now, if you're not ready for Kajabi, that's okay. Today, we're going to go take a look inside my Kajabi account so you can see everything that's going on, and then you can decide later if this is the right place for you. Let's go check it out. So this is the Kajabi dashboard. It's where you land after you have done your full setup wizard. And every time you log into your Kajabi account, you're going to end up here. Because I already have our sites already built, I can't show you through the setup wizard of a new account. So we're just going to jump into the part where you have finished doing the setup wizard. Okay. So this dashboard here, you have the ability to kind of customize what metrics that you want to see every time you log in. So you can also change here the time frame that you want to see. If you have different currencies, you can change that. And different metrics here, these are examples of, you can move them around and you can turn on and off different ones. So you can have up to 4 here. So if you want to put another one on, you just got to turn one off and you can play around with that, show what you would like on that. And you get a kind of quick glance of your revenue as well as your Kajabi payments balance here. At the bottom, we've got a couple of quick links. Let's take a look at the products part of your Kajabi account. So when you're in products, you're going to see a list of courses, coaching, community, podcast, newsletters, and downloads. So the products is kind of like the core components of Kajabi. Now, Kajabi is known for their online courses. That is the most common thing that people come to use Kajabi for. And then in addition to that, the other features are coaching, community, podcast, newsletters, and downloads. Now, you can come to Kajabi for any one of these, but just know that Kajabi does courses the best out of all of these, okay? Community is another piece that is done well here with Kajabi. It's something they've put a lot of energy and effort into in the last couple of years here because of how important a community is for growing your business. So let's take a look at the courses section here. So click on that. I have a couple of sample courses in here just for demonstration purposes. We have 2 different options. We have a Cohort course and an Evergreen course. Okay, so I'm going to walk you through the setup here just so you can see what it looks like. So you have 2 options here. So Evergreen, self-paced, right? Continuously accessible. So that's just your typical online course where people do it at their own time, at their own pace. Okay, so things that you can have inside of there's quizzes, video content, live room, certificates, download files, and you can have a connection with your community as well. The other option, and this has only been out for maybe a year or so since starting this video, and that's our cohorts. So the biggest difference here is with cohorts, you kind of move through the content of the material with a set time frame and a set group of people. Okay, so you have a class, it starts on a certain date. You guys are going to work through module 1 from week 1, and then next week you guys start module 2. And so each module or each kind of group of information or content that you want to share, you're going to release that on a specific date. Okay, so it's like date released type modules. You can do date release modules with your Evergreen course, but the difference here with the cohort is that everybody's moving together with it. You can include lessons in there that is a live session. So that's right here, scheduled live sessions. And it allows you to have that right directly in the course. You don't have to go and use Zoom outside of Kajabi. You can do all of your live calls right here in the course. Okay, it has a lot of the same features as a regular Evergreen course, and just has that kind of calendar integration piece, which is a little bit extra. And the great thing about the cohort product here is that when you are finished that group of people, that session, you can easily then just duplicate it, and then you have all your content and everything ready to go for your next session, which is really handy because having to duplicate an Evergreen course for a session is a little bit more cumbersome and it's kind of messy in the back end. And we like to keep things nice, streamlined, and clean inside of our Kajabi accounts. So now that we have the cohorts, it's really nice for people that want to repeat the same thing over and over with different groups of people. Let's take a look at the coaching product next. So when you first come onto coaching here on the left side dashboard, you're going to end up getting an overall coaching dashboard with the summary of your sessions, your clients, completed sessions, and any revenue that is connected to your coaching sessions. Okay, so this is the combination of all of your programs that you have going on for coaching. Okay. In the program section, this is where you're going to see all of your different products for coaching. Now, Kajabi offers two types of coaching programs. They have one-on-one and then they have group coaching as well. So I have two samples here that I just threw together really quick for you to see what those look like here in Kajabi. So let's take a look at the one-on-one first. So if we open that up here, you're going to have a summary of all of your clients here, any active ones, any past ones. I don't have any, so you're not going to see any. Package outline, so basically what's included in their purchase. So you'll have an offer set up where you can sell it for X number of dollars and you're going to have certain inclusions, and specifically the number of sessions is going to be a big piece about that. So you can set this up to have however many sessions you want. You can also turn on the option to have a additional session where they can actually purchase more sessions within this product. So when they're in their coaching product area, they can buy more right there, which is really nice. In the settings section here, this is where you can customize things, right? You can put in your description, all that kind of stuff. We do have coaching templates here. They're really nothing too exciting right now. This is still relatively new feature at this point. Right now, we just stick with the default one. It's really fine. We have the scheduling options. So the cool thing about the coaching product here in Kajabi is that you can schedule using everything in Kajabi. You don't have to have outside integrations. You don't have to have Calendly. You don't have to have Zoom. You don't have to have any of those other things. You can do it all here in Kajabi. Okay. But if you do want to use those other things, you do have that option as well. Lots of settings in here. You have live video, or you can put custom location, which is your Zoom link. Set your duration. So you have a couple of options here. The maximum is 90 minutes. You'll have to, if you need it to be more than that, you're going to have to set it as more than one session. We've got automatic reminders, which is nice. You can set your availability just like you would if you were using any other calendar. You need to have your open time slots. You can automatically upload the live recordings, which is so handy, so much time saving here, where as soon as the session's done, Kajabi processes it and puts it in there right away, and we'll send an email to your student or your client, and that the recording's there, ready for them, which is really nice. So you can, like I mentioned, you can offer those additional sessions. You can turn that on or turn it off. Notifications, you have a bit of customization here to notify you, send you an email, or your client can get that email. Automations, there's quite a few fun automations that you can do in here. It's always nice to be able to take the burden off of you having to do things manually, which is nice. So what it looks like, this is a unstyled coaching product here. So you can definitely brand this, put your colors in it, and make it a little bit nice. This is just a quick sample, but the idea here is that they get a list of their sessions. Okay, and they come in here, they've purchased 3 sessions, and now they can come in and they can schedule their sessions. So if we open up session 1, any resources that you want to give them for this specific session, you can do that, put in here, all the details here, right? And schedule their session here. They can click it, and then they can book their time with you right here in Kajabi, which is really nice. You can include agenda items, any notes from you, any notes together, and then of course your own private notes, which is also very handy. So you get to keep everything together here, and it's all attached to that one specific client. Really, really nice. No having to manage multiple Google Docs for all your clients and stuff. So this is fantastic. Back over to the coaching section here, we mentioned that there was 2 types, one-to-one and the group coaching. So group coaching is very similar setup, just a few things that are different. So instead of a client list, you're going to have a group. You can name your groups whatever you want. This is just a sample of group A. Again, you can select however many sessions you want for them. So I have them here. I can go and schedule all of these sessions right here in the background. So because it's group, they don't schedule the sessions, you schedule them. So you have to do that here in the back end. Okay. You can decide if you want to do Kajabi live video, all that kind of stuff is included. You can put the recording here. So if you still wanted to go do it on Zoom and then upload it in here, you have that option as well. You can add your agenda items. The one thing about this group coaching is that when you do complete the session, you do have to manually come in here and mark it complete. So there's one little manual piece there. Kajabi doesn't know when you've actually completed it. So you have to come in and do that there. In the settings here, we'll just pop over there real quick. Very similar to the one-on-one coaching. Okay. Yeah. Let's change your settings and stuff like that here. Your availability, that's all here. Okay. And notifications. So very much the same as the one-on-one. Okay. And your list of clients. So even though it is group session, you do still need to have a list of all the people. You can still see that here. So there is a lot of really great settings in here. This hasn't been in development for the last couple of years, and it's come a long way. Pretty handy. I know a lot of people are having some great success with this coaching feature here. Here's what it looks like for the group sessions. Very similar to what the one-on-ones look like, where it's just nice and linear here. Again, you can style it however you want. Tells you when it's upcoming. Okay, I can click on it here. I can get the session details. Okay, and same thing down here, all of the notes that you need here. Okay, and agenda items, all that. And resources, if there were any, they would be in here. And this is where the call, you'd be able to access the call right here, right? Kajabi live video. Be right here, which is really handy. Next product that Kajabi has is the community. And the community is one of my favorite places right now. We are doing our Kajabi build boot camps, helping a lot of people get their communities built here in Kajabi. It's a lot of fun, and they have been developing, like Kajabi themselves has been developing this product quite a lot recently. So there's a lot of new stuff coming in all the time, and they're taking all of our feedback and they're implementing them, which is really, really nice. So we're going to take a look at one of the sample communities that I had previously set up in our last Kajabi Build Bootcamp. So basically how it works here is you've got your dashboard, it gives you your activity that's going on. This is not a real community that I'm showing you, so there is really no data in it for you. You have your access groups. This is where you can have your set group of people come into your community, and you can have multiple groups, and you can do them free or paid. Offers is basically which offers are attached to that community. Okay. So in this case, I just have one because you have to give people access to community, and you have to do it through an offer. Okay. We've got overall settings. So when you have a Kajabi community, you get one overall community, and then you can have separate groups within it. Okay. You don't get multiple communities. I know this is one of the biggest misconceptions that a lot of people come into Kajabi, and they come to even my bootcamp, and they're like, hey, why can't I have more than one community? I've got these different groups of people, and I don't want them to have the same name. Well, unfortunately, Kajabi only gives you one community unless you're in the pro plan and you have 3 different websites. Then you can have 3 different communities, but that's a whole another complication that you probably don't want to dig into, especially if you're a beginner here in Kajabi. So really you get that one community, and then you can have different access groups. So let me pop into our sample community here so you can take a peek. If you want a little bit more in-depth look through this community, I do have a full video on this on my channel. I will link it in the description below, so you can go and see this a little bit more than what I'm talking about here today. Here's a quick sample of the community. There's obviously no posts in it, but it's similar to a Facebook feed where you would see all the different posts. And on the side here, we have a access group. So this is like our first entry access group with the options of doing different meetups. So it's like a calendar. This is where we can schedule live sessions if we want to have calls together. We have a custom page. So this is a page that we customized during our boot camp where it's like a resource page. So you can link any landing page that you want inside of your Kajabi community. So this is just a basic landing page that we put in the community, which is really nice because you can put whatever you want in it. You can connect your coaching products or your courses in here. So let me just quickly move this over to be a course because this is definitely not what we want. We're going to, let's actually delete this page real quick here. I want to show you really quickly that you can actually put your course in the community. And this is one of the best features of this and why people actually come to the Kajabi specifically is because they can have their course in their community together. And not many other places actually do that where it's all in one place. And this is really fantastic. I'm just going to pop that in there. Okay. And now I have my Nutrition 101 course here. This is a sample, so there's just fake information, but there's my course with all my modules in it, which is really nice. So I can have my course and community all in one place. It's like it's in one product, but in the back end, they're separate products. We can have different access groups here that allows us to break up the conversation so that they are on more specific conversations. So there's a lot more cool things inside of here, like challenges and leaderboards and stuff like that. Go ahead and watch the full video after you're done this video. I've linked it below in the description. Next up is the podcast product. Now, I'm going to be completely honest with you. We do not have any clients that use the podcast feature, and we have set it up in the past, and we just don't have people that are interested in it. And I think it's because most people don't need the podcast functionality here in Kajabi because they already have it somewhere else. Typically is the situation that we find. We also find that it's just not that popular, right? That just people are here for their courses and their community and coaching, and that's where they put all their energy and effort into. So the few people that do have a podcast, it is really straightforward here in Kajabi. Anybody can put this together very simply. Okay, so if you want to import from somewhere else, I have not done the import, so I can't tell you much about that, but I have set them up from scratch for previous clients. You basically are just going to follow through all of the different settings here, okay? I don't have a sample one here to show you, but basically how it looks is just like any other podcast page where you have a list of the episodes. You can brand it so it has your branding. You can have your cover art for your podcast on there. It's very straightforward. It's almost like just a landing page with all of your podcast episodes. Okay. So yeah, like I said, that's just a pretty basic feature here. But if you are someone who's just beginning in your podcast area, you don't have to go pay for another platform. You can come and build it in here, and you can send it out to the same streaming devices like Spotify and Apple and all that kind of stuff. It's all done here within Kajabi. It's very easy to follow the setup instructions in here. All right, next up is the newsletters. Okay, now I get a lot of questions about newsletters. A lot of people see this feature and they're like, oh, I really want to do a newsletter. I'm like, okay, great. You can do a newsletter, but you have to know that there are some restrictions in the design of the newsletter. Okay, Kajabi has fixed it up a little bit so you can have a little bit more customization in it, but basically it is allowing you to have a paid part of your newsletter. So a newsletter is very much just like a blog post, except you can send it out via email automatically. You don't have to go and send a separate email to send out your post. So if you can imagine sending a blog post out to somebody, in order for them to access the blog post, you have to send them an email with the link, right? But with a newsletter, you basically create your post, like you're making a blog post, but a newsletter post. And when it's done and you save it, you can publish it. And when you publish it, automatically an email will go out to your subscribers. And now people would subscribe specifically to your newsletter. So they can do that by free offer, or they can do it with a paid offer. Okay, so you can even actually do both. So you, in your newsletter, you can have a whole free section, and then you can have a paid section underneath, which is really cool. So you can tease that there's more that people can purchase and be able to read more. So that's a really cool feature. If you want to learn a little bit more about the newsletter, I do have an overview video of this on my channel. However, it is a bit outdated. So Kajabi has fixed things up a little bit more. So I recommend that you do go through and take a look at all of the details here of the newsletters. I don't have any plans of filming a new newsletter video anytime soon, specifically because it's not a very popular feature. But if you are interested in it, it does work. It functions. There are people that use it. So go dig in to the help docs for that. Next up is the downloads. Okay, so this downloads area, we were really excited when this rolled out originally. And then when we found out it wasn't really anything too spectacular, it just faded into the background. And I don't know anyone who uses the download section. Newbies that come into Kajabi, they often ask about this and they want to know if this is going to work the way they want it to. Again, it's one of those things that kind of got added but didn't get any love in it afterwards. And so it's basic. So what you can do is essentially upload your download files. So any files that you want to give to people for them to download, you can upload them there. And yeah, basically just purchase any file from you. So if you have templates that you wanted to put for people to purchase, they can purchase it through here. So if we take a look at the wizard here, really quick. Okay, download details. Okay, we'll just call it, you can get my worksheets. And description, we can skip past this, add your file. So I'll throw on a file. I'm going to upload it something to my media library here real quick, just a sample file of something. We'll throw in our brand guidelines. We'll give away that in our download section. All right, so we've added our file that we want to give away, a PDF. Hit next. Okay, so again, we can do it free or paid. We can set up an offer. I'm going to skip that for now. Really straightforward wizard. There's not a lot to do to set this one up. Okay, so I haven't customized anything. I literally just uploaded my file. I'm going to hit preview so you can see exactly what it looks like. There's my page. There's the file. You can hit download all if I had multiple files. Pretty basic. Of course, you can customize it as well. So you can go through all of those details, but really pretty straightforward type thing for this area of Kajabi. So like I said, I don't know anybody who's using this piece, but it's there if that's something that interests you. Next up is the sales area. Now inside the sales area, this is where you can see all of your payments. You can set up your offers where people can actually make their transactions within Kajabi. You can see what your payouts are. So if you're using Kajabi Payments, which is their internal payment setting, you can see exactly what is going to be delivered to your bank. And you can set up a cart. Cart is basically like a shopping cart where you pick and choose things and put them in a cart and then make a purchase. And you can set up invoices. So that's very typical if you're doing kind of one-on-one things and you want to invoice something for a specific service or a specific project, you can do that within the invoices area. Next up, we have the sales area. Now there's a lot of stuff in this section and we're going to go through each one as quick as we can here. So just a very brief overview. The payments area here under sales is kind of like your summary area of what's coming in to Kajabi. So if you have payment connected with Kajabi, you can see all that information here. So you can get your last 30 days worth of transactions, subscriptions, all that kind of stuff. You can see who your top customers are, your top offers, and your recent transactions would be listed down here. It is a really great page for you for tracking what's going on with your revenue. If you are using Kajabi Payments, which is their internal payment provider, you will see what your balance is here. And you can get more details on that in the payouts area, which I'm not going to go through here, but basically it just says how much is waiting to be sent to the bank, because you know how it holds money before it sends it to the bank. So it just lets you know where the money's at. Transactions is where you can just see the full list of all the people who have been purchasing from you. This is a sample account, so you're not going to see anything. Then you can break it down into subscriptions, so specifically that reoccurring revenue, and payment plans as well. And if you have any disputes for the charges, you'll see all that information in here. So that's like your whole overview of what's going on with regards to transactions within the payment processor. Okay. Now I'll just quickly mention that if you don't want to use Kajabi Payments, you can use Stripe and you can use PayPal as external platform connection into Kajabi. There is some extra fees for that though. So make sure that you dig into the details of the fees before you decide whether you're going to use Kajabi Payments or not. I will give you one quick tip that we don't recommend Kajabi Payments for people with subscriptions with the recurring, because you can't move those subscriptions out of Kajabi later. Okay, so if you're going to use Kajabi Payments, use it for one-time purchases It's fantastic for that. People can use like Apple Pay and Google Pay, which is really great and does increase the revenue for sure. But if you're doing a recurring subscription and you decide in the future that you want to leave Kajabi, you can't take those subscriptions with you because they are locked into Kajabi. So subscriptions, we do recommend setting them up through Stripe. And yes, you'll pay an extra fee to do that, but it will be worth it in the long run because you won't have to cancel all those subscriptions and ask your people to sign up again in the future. So it's just something to think about. The pricing section here, which is also called the offers section, this is where basically all of your offers would be. And an offer is the same thing as a checkout page. Okay. So you set up the offer and then you customize the checkout page, which is connected to the offer. So I've got some sample stuff in here that we can take a look at. I'll just open one up here so we can kind of see what it looks like. There's a lot of different settings that you can manage inside of here, but it's pretty straightforward. I'll just do a quick overview. I'm not going to go into all details because this video is not a detailed walkthrough. It's just a quick overview. So you can attach products to the offer. So if I want to sell the Cohort coaching cohort course, then I would attach it here. If I wanted to add other products, I could just go in my list here and select them. Okay. And you can choose different access dates and whatnot. We have more tabs at the top here that we can go through. We can do subscriptions. We can do free, as you can see here. We can do payment plans. So, pay every 3 months, that kind of stuff. Or we can do just basic, a one-time payment. We have your payment providers here. So I don't have any on here because I don't have anything connected. So if you did have things connected, you would see them listed here. Okay, so just lots of setups here. Kajabi does have the ability to do upsells, which is fantastic. And they just recently updated this area with more customization and styling, which is really, really great. So you can take a look in this area here for all of the upsells settings. So this here is the settings for your offers. You can customize things. You can choose what you're going to put on the checkout area there, all of those fields rather. And there are templates. And one of our friends, Penny, from Penny in Your Pocket, does sell custom templates specifically for checkouts. And she's got some really, really nice ones. So if you don't want to design it from scratch, definitely go grab one of her checkouts. The link for her site will be there below, and I'll link directly to her checkout pages so that you can get to them really quick, because she does have lots of really cool templates and you don't want to get distracted and just grab that checkout template if that's something you're interested in. So that's basically that. And now to edit your checkout, you just have to click here and go and see all of the settings that are available. Now the checkout is really great because you have all the options of a landing page builder here. So anything you could do to build on a website, you can actually do here on a checkout page. Lots and lots of options. Okay. Like I said, this is not a detailed how-to video, so I'm not going to go into all those details, but just so you know, there is the ability to customize this page. And just to show you a little bit a bigger version here, you have a full left side you can customize, and you have the checkout block on the side. And there's no details on this because this is not an actual checkout page that's been set up, but you get the gist of it. You definitely have lots of flexibility for customization. And if you don't want to do a lot of the work yourself, definitely grab one of those templates. It will save you so much time. Now the cart area is, again, a bunch of settings for you to be able to customize what you want your cart to do, and your payment options, as well as taxes if you're going to be collecting any of those, the fields that you want on the cart, and any service agreement, and what's going to happen after, all those details here. Basically the same stuff you would set up on an offer, kind of all combined here so that you can set up your cart. And really just doing a cart is pretty straightforward. You're just going to have a page with a bunch of offers, and people can pick and choose and put them into your cart. It'll be like an add to cart button on your page. Okay, so that is a really nice feature for those of us that want to sell kind of individual products. Invoicing is a really nice feature here if you're someone that just wants to bill for one little specific thing, and there's not necessarily a product attached to it. You don't really need an offer to sell it, right? An offer is more for if you're going to be repeatedly selling something and it's attached to a product of some sort. But if you just need to bill them for a service, you can go ahead and just create an invoice here. It's really straightforward. I'll just open it up here so you can see what the fields are. You can add all of your items in here. Okay, and you can just put it together and send it off. And it gives really good receipts with all of the information that's needed so people can keep them for their tax purposes. Coupons is always great to have when it comes to selling online. You can set up single coupons or bulk coupons. So if you have an organization that you want to give a whole bunch of coupons to, you can have that option. You can do a coupon for just a specific offer, or you can do it for the entire cart purchase. I'll just show you really quickly what it looks like when you're trying to set up a coupon. Okay, you can choose bulk or single and decide the name of your coupon. Do you want an amount or a percent off? Do you want it repeating or just one time? So lots of really good options in there for the coupon. Now, affiliate setup. This area is really handy if you have other people who are wanting to sell your services or your products. You can set up an affiliate area here that allows them to get special unique links that they can use to sell your offers. And those unique links are tracking links, which will allow you to be able to see how many times that person sold one of your offers, and then you get to pay them some commission. Okay, so we have the kind of summary overview here. You can see who your top sellers are and the top offers, the most popular offers. You can set up the different commission for your different offers. So 20%, 30%, whatever. You can just decide on that information in here. You can even create a challenge for your affiliates if you really want to push things. You can choose what pages that they can share. So if you have a sales page specifically, you want them to share that page, you can set up that unique link, or you can add checkout pages and they can sell direct from a checkout page. My affiliates is your list of affiliate people who've signed up, transactions, basically what's all of the sales that have been happening. You can see a nice full summary. If you want to send out announcements to your affiliates, you can do that here. It will send them an email, which is really nice. And then, of course, the settings for the affiliates. This is where you can set up all of the details. If you want to give them a nice welcome message, you can give them any resources. If there's any files, marketing files and stuff, you can give them that here. And then there's a specific sign-up page that you can give them, as well as a login page, because they need to have a dashboard to be able to see what's happening with their own sales. That's all done and set up in here. All those details are really straightforward. You just have to follow along and fill them out. So a really easy way to set up your affiliates if that's something you want to do for your company. Next up is the website area, which is one of the favorite places that most people love to go into when they first come onto their Kajabi site. Getting your website ready is a really exciting piece. And so let's just quickly look at what is available here in Kajabi for website building specifically. So the first tab here is the design tab. When you first go on it, you're going to get a prompt to choose a theme. Okay, you have to have a theme. Even if you don't use any website pages in here, you still have to have a theme. So you can go ahead and choose one. You can see I've already chosen one. I'll just show you really quickly what it would look like. If I go browse these templates, you'll see what the themes are. Okay, there's lots to choose from. Just pick one that has the right flow that you're looking for. If you don't know what to pick, just choose the Streamline Home. It's just going to get the job done. You don't need to overthink this. Just pick one, okay? Now, if you don't want to use the Kajabi themes, you can definitely go and purchase a theme from a third-party service provider. There's so many really great ones out there. Penny, she's one of our favorites. She has lots of website themes that are laid out in a way that is very functional and, of course, beautiful. And you can just swap the colors, the images, the text, and all that stuff to make it your own. If you want to check out her templates, a link will be in the description of this video. To upload a template, you just go down to the bottom here where it says upload template. Very simple, easy, and boom, ready to go. Now the website pages here, this is basically what we call the system pages. The system pages are pages that are automatically designed and put in there for you to work with. It's like a starting ground. It's foundational pieces that are needed for the functioning of your site. Okay, so these website pages, you can't really do much with them. So you'll see the ones that are called system. They're there. You cannot get rid of them. And they are part of Google searches, which means that people will find these pages whether you're using them or not, because Google will index them. Okay. So things like the contact and about, you don't have to use those pages. This one, you can turn them off. You can just draft them. Okay. But thank you page, a library, which is a really important piece. This is where people are going to see all your products. You have to have a library page. Blog, you don't have to use, but it is there and it's going to be part of Google searches. So make sure you do have that customized. All of these pages down here, You want to make sure that they have your branding, your text, your colors, your images, all that kind of stuff. So set up all these system pages. Don't leave them, because I know that's one of the things we see most common. Now, the difference here between a website page and a landing page. Now, landing page is where you can create a page with whatever you want on it. This is like full freedom pages here, okay? And this is where you're going to spend the majority of your time building pages, okay? You're not really going to be building anything in the website area. Just customize the ones that are there, but you're going to actually build over here in the landing page area, okay? This is where you're going to put things like your privacy policy, your cookies policy. You need to have a lot of certain pages connected to your website, and you're going to build them all in this area. Now, I'm just going to pop open just this one here so you can see what the builder looks like, because Kajabi's builder is really, really great. They just updated it to have a nice streamlined look to it and super easy to find everything that you need. Okay. Now, Kajabi did release a media library, which is why you see this warning message. We're going to talk about that a little bit later in the video, so we'll just bypass that for now. But you'll see here that we have sections of your page. We have a header section. We have a footer section. You have the ability to do exit pop-ups, two-step opt-ins, and all of these here are little blocks. So if I click on one of these blocks, this is a text block. Okay, as you can see, there's some text in here that you can edit. Okay, there's a lot of different options here. Let me just open up let's go back here. We're going to open up a section so you can see the types of sections here. Lots of different ones where it's like pre-formatted for you, right? Where it has sample text in here so you can see what they are. You can just like click through them and just see what the options are. So it's nice to like that formatted section just to get an idea of what you might like, right? You don't have to design completely from scratch, okay? So there's lots of different blocks in there. And then even within those sections, if I open up this section here, I can add a block in here, and we've got lots of options in here. Pretty much anything you need to build a website or a landing page, you've got it here, like tons. And I'm not going to go into what all of these are, but you have everything you need. You have all of the customization tools that you need. It's got it all. Now, the funnels area here in Kajabi is like your visual builder. So if you want to build your funnel, which is a step-by-step process that your customers would go through, you can do that here. Now, you don't have to use the funnels areas. I know some people come into here thinking that this is where they have to build their funnel. You don't. We actually don't build in the funnels area at all. We build everything in landing pages, and we build the automation separately, and we build the email sequences separately. We build everything separately, and we just connect them manually, which is just the way most of us service providers work. We don't use funnel area because all funnel area is, it's just a visual builder, and we don't need the visual, so we bypass that piece. It's extra work that we don't need. But as a new person coming into Kajabi, it can be really helpful to be able to understand the flow of what's happening, okay? There are some preset funnels that you can use. So if you wanted to set up a freebie, you can do that here. Sales page, product launch, all the different types of funnels. They're all here for you, or you can design one from blank. Okay, if we just quickly open up, you also see that there's some tutorials here, which is really nice. So let's get started on a freebie, and we'll just do a test here. We'll just quickly show you what the visual looks like so you get an understanding of how this funnel area can actually be helpful. Okay, so it's going to pop in basically the steps that you need in order to set up this freebie funnel. So you need an opt-in page, right? You need a page for them to be able to put their email and their name and stuff in it. So it pre-designs for you a landing page, right? You can come in here and customize the text, and you can customize the colors and all that kind of stuff. And the next step in the opt-in sequence is that an email needs to get sent out. So it connects for you an email. It already creates one for you, and then you just need to go in here and edit. It even gives you a sample welcome email. Again, you can just go in and edit it. So it's already pre-connected, already has the automation set up. And then, of course, you need a thank you page, because after they fill out a form, you don't want to send them to nowhere land. So you need to send them to a thank you page. And so again, it creates that page for you. You can go and customize it in here. Okay, so it's just a visual builder, and you can build all of these pieces separately too. You don't have to do it here in the funnel area. But if I head back over, now you'll see that I have a funnel set up here. It does track how many people visit that funnel, so it does give you that analytics. And then if you want to go and take a look at your landing pages, because those pages that just got built, they're over here in the landing page area. I'm going to bump back over here. Okay, and you can now see in this funnels area here that we have that page, or those two pages. So if you can see there's two pages, we're just going to open this up and you'll see there are the two landing pages that auto created because we set up a funnel using the template that was there. And so I can work with these pages, I can draft them, I can preview them, I can grab the links for them, all that kind of stuff. So everything is now set up in this funnel area as opposed to the landing page area. So if you're someone who likes that visual and you want to keep all of this stuff together, then that's what your funnel area is for. Kajabi has the ability to do A/B testing, which is really nice. So you could set up basically two landing pages. Maybe they have a different hero section, or they have different copy, or maybe they have different call to actions on them, and you want to test to see which one is the most effective. You can do that here in the A/B test area of the landing pages. So that's great for those that are established and they're really working on honing in their sales page copy or content. The navigation area here is basically just your link lists. It is your links that you would put in a header or a footer. You can also put links in the body of a landing page. This is where you would go and set up those links. So, you know, in your footer, you might have your policy pages. So you can customize those here. You can create different links for different areas of your site. And this is where you build them. It's basically a menu, a navigation menu that you can have to be able to move around your site. You can build those menus here. Now the blog is a great feature of Kajabi. You can go and create your blog posts here and have them published on your Kajabi website. So here we have samples of some blog posts. I'll just open one up so you can see what the blog builder looks like. Super easy to put these together. You can throw in a video or an audio file if you want. Here, we like to attach our YouTube videos inside of the body. So as you can see here, we've got a title, nice SEO rich title, and then we've got our content in here. And then we also have our embedded YouTube videos in the middle of our blogs. Lots of customization that you can do here. You can put images in. As you can see here, we've got a couple images in our blog. And below, you can set the URL, again, being very SEO specific here because the whole point of the blog is to find it on Google. We've got a page title and description. We've got our tags. You've got your feature image here so that, you know, everybody can get that visual and get their attention. You can schedule your blog posts. So if you want to pre-make them, you can schedule them to be released in the future. Okay, and now that's just the setup area of the actual content, which is under this blog area. Now you can also customize the actual blog page and how it looks, and that's actually done under the website pages. So we just talked about that earlier here, and now I can show you here really quick. We have blog post and we have the blog area. So I'll preview our blog here really quick so you can see what it looks like. Okay, so very straightforward here where we've got our cards. You can set the sizes of these cards however many you want, and each card opens up. If I click on one, it'll open up to the actual blog content. That was the one that we were looking at there. So really easy to put your blog together. And once you have the customization done of your page, you don't have to do it for every single blog. Okay, if I open up the editor here, the blog post editor, this is where you can set your settings for the blog. Okay, you can choose different sections that you want to put inside of your blog here. You can customize your header, your footer, that kind of stuff. So there's what a sample would look like. You can see we put a border on here, we put a background, all flexible for you to be able to design it so it matches the rest of your pages of your website. Moving into the marketing area, this is where we are going to dig into connecting with your people. Okay, so first thing that is on our list is the universal inbox. Now you'll notice that it says beta right now because at the time of recording this video, it is not fully launched. Everybody does have it available if you are in the growth or pro plan. If you're in basic, you will not have this feature. You will see it, but you won't be able to do anything with it because you do have to have one of the higher plans. Now, the universal inbox is difficult for me to show you all the details here because you have to have it connected. Now, the idea here is that you will get all of your DMs from Instagram and Facebook into Kajabi. So you can converse with people right here in Kajabi. You don't have to leave your account and go to Facebook or Instagram. Now, part of this universal inbox is the ability to do the comment to DM functionality, which is basically what A lot of people pay for ManyChat, where they can have somebody makes a comment in one of their Instagram posts and say worksheet or whatever the word might be. You can set an automation here in Kajabi that when someone makes that comment on the post, that it will send whatever email it is that you want them to send. So you can send them the worksheet via email marketing here in Kajabi. It replaces ManyChat in that functionality. Now, it's a fairly straightforward basic feature. If you want to know more about that feature, there will be an option for you to view more about the universal inbox. For me, it's showing up here on the top. If you are on a basic or even the Kickstarter plan, you may just have a little learn more type box. And there's a really neat video that Kajabi has for you that will walk you through the whole thing. So I do recommend that you go and check that out. Now, the email campaigns, this is a huge feature of Kajabi. The best thing about email here in Kajabi is that you do not have to pay for all the emails that you send. There are no limits in the number of emails that you have to send. A lot of other platforms have email marketing, but you have limits or you have to pay per use. So Kajabi, all included, all unlimited, email away. It's awesome. Now, the two types of emails that you can do in Kajabi are a broadcast and a sequence. So if I click on new campaign here, you can see the two options. Email broadcast is basically sending a single email to your group of people, whether it's your full list or a part of your list, whichever it is, you can send them a single email. You can also schedule that email for a future date if you want. There is the option to A/B test. So if you want to test your subject lines of your emails or your CTAs inside of your emails, you could test those as well, or any of the copy or anything. Really, you can do that through email broadcasts. Now, automations, that's an email sequence. That is where you can trigger emails to be sent based on a specific event. And those are really, really powerful. That's what is really your game changer here. It's going to save you so much time. So a welcome sequence is one of the most popular things that people use inside of their email marketing. When somebody purchases something from you, or maybe they opt into something for free, you want to send them a welcome email that thanks them and gives them their freebie if that's what you're delivering, or tells them what to do next to how to access their course or their coaching sessions or whatever it is that they purchased from you. So you want to do that all automated because you don't want to manually send people emails. So Kajabi allows you to do that here. As you can see, we have some email sequences running here. We also have some broadcast emails. You can sort them by the type. So if I click on sequences, you'll be able to see some of the sequences that are running and not running. And you can also take a look at broadcasts. So a list of every single broadcast, and you can sort by status, ones that are draft, scheduled for the future, active, and ones that have already been sent. So you can organize things there. And we also have the ability to put our emails into folders. So if you have a bunch of emails that's part of a campaign, you can create a folder here and group all of those emails in that one area. So if you're like, hey, I want to see all my emails related to my just recent launch or my March launch or whatever you want to call it, you can have a folder with everything in there. So then when you come to go maybe do that launch again, you want to redo all those emails, you have them in one place. You don't have to go hunt in your big master list. So that's really handy. Automations is a huge feature here in Kajabi. It is what makes everything run without you. It is fantastic. Now, depending on which account you have, if you have the Pro or the Growth account, you will have the option for these advanced automations. So they're much more detailed and a visual builder. It is just a lot more advanced to be able to use certain functions like weight nodes and stuff like that. Getting the Pro account or the Growth account is definitely needed if you are a very big business and you've got a lot going on. That's a specific feature that a lot of people will want. But for the majority of us who are just working in the kind of basic account or the Kickstarter account, you're going to have basic automations. So you'll still get the job done. You're still going to save time. You'll be able to automate the most common things, but you won't have the visual builder like I'm going to show you here today. So first thing you can see is just a list of automations. You can see when the last time it was updated. This one here is an automation that just automatically populated when we had created that funnel previously in this video. So you can see that's why it's got today's date on it. Now we have the automations. If we want to add a new one, okay, you've got a whole bunch of samples that you can take a look at. Lots of different options that will pre-populate a lot of the steps for you, or you can come in here and build it from scratch. Let's just take a quick look at one. let's do a freebie funnel download. So we click on that and you'll see here, it's going to map it out for me. What are all the things that I want to include in it? Well, I need to submit a form, right? So I'm going to have to click on this and I'm going to need to choose a form. So I'll choose this one and then we can hit save. And then you can also add your tag and you just go through each thing step by step. You can also add additional flows. So if you want something else to happen, right? You want a different trigger, but it's still within the same funnel. You can go ahead and set up another flow right here in the builder. That is pretty amazing. Now you can work on it in draft, but you can also publish it. I can't publish this one because it's not actually set up, but once it's all complete, you can actually go ahead and just hit publish and then it's running in the background. You can see here that you can change between draft and publish right here. You also have the option to come in and rename these, and real big time saver, you can duplicate previous ones. So if you have one that's set up and you just need to change the offer or the trigger, you can duplicate it. It's really handy. Now, events is a really great feature to be able to automate some things going on in your Kajabi account. Now, if you are planning to run an event, whether it's a live event in person or online, you can set countdown timers on your landing pages or in your emails. And to run these countdown timers, you need to have an event set up so that Kajabi knows when to actually count it down. When is the ending of the event kind of thing. So we can set up countdowns here. Here's an example one that we had set up from the past. Basically, you can just put in when is the event going to be, the time zone, how long is the event, is it a recurring event? You can turn that feature on. You can actually add emails to this. So when somebody joins this event or subscribes to the event, they can get emails. Of course, they have to be subscribed to email marketing, otherwise they won't get the email. But if you can set up your system where they are getting emails, then you can set those up in here. And the great thing about these emails here in the events is they are time-based. So basically, if you have an email of as soon as they register to the event, they're going to get an email. You can put that in here. And then you can put an hour before, here's a reminder. You can do we're live. So have it set to have another email at the exact time. You can also set an email for 24 hours later saying here's the replay link. 3 days later, 1 day later, whatever your sequence might be, you can have those all time triggered and sent based on the event date, which is really handy when you're running a nurture sequence after an event. So that's really helpful. Next up is the forms area. So forms is a great way to bring information into your Kajabi account from your clients. So basically a form, I'm just going to pop open this test form. This form was created when we created that funnel earlier and it automatically made it a form. So there's the options of having double opt-in and single opt-in. So that's basically where if somebody signs up through your form, they need to go to their email and confirm and say, yes, I did sign up for this. I want these email. Once they confirm, then they start getting emails. Single opt-in, they sign up on the form, boom, they get the emails. There's no second step of having to go confirm. Okay. So there's lots of options that you can do with your form fields. You can add additional fields if you want to collect more information like their address, or you want to ask them a question. You can put all that in here. And of course, there's automations that you can set up in this area as well. You can have an email be sent to your team if this form gets filled out, which is really nice because you can keep tabs if this form is getting any traction, right? You can also send them to a thank you page. So when someone fills out their form, you don't want to just leave them hanging. You really want to send them to a thank you page. You can connect that here. Inside of each form, you can see the submissions. You can see all the people who filled out that form in this list here. And you can also embed your form in other websites. So for those of you who want to keep your website on WordPress, but you want to use the forms here in Kajabi because you want to collect your contacts into Kajabi here to do emailing, you can do that by using this embed form. Now, the customization of it is quite basic and simple, but if you use some custom code, some CSS, you can definitely make it look a little bit better on your website. But the functionality of it is here should you need to use that form outside of Kajabi. Now for the contacts area, you have the ability to see at a glance everything that's going on with your contacts. You have a nice little dashboard here where you can see what your engagement is like. You can see how many people have unsubscribed in the last 30 days. You can see who's subscribed total, that kind of information. It's all here at a nice quick glance. Now, Because of privacy on YouTube here, I cannot show you inside the contact list because you'll see all my contacts and I can't share that information. So I'm not going to open that area here. But basically what you can see inside the contacts area is just the list of their names, their emails, the time that they were added. It has lifetime value. It allows you to segment them so we can put them into groups. We can sort our list by tags. We can sort by what products they have, what offers they have. There's lots of different options to manage that contact list, and that's all within that contacts area. So the assessments area has been dying out lately. It was replaced with quizzes inside of the course product. So we used to have assessments where we would build them here and then we'd go put them in our course. But now the course itself has quizzes in it. And so most people are doing their course quizzes in that area. And this area here of assessments has died out. Now, some people like to do a questionnaire type form on their landing pages. And so an assessment would be the block that you would use. It's the tool that you can set up to ask them multiple choice questions or long answer questions, that kind of stuff, like a typical assessment would be. And you can take that assessment block and put it on your landing page. So if you wanted to do like a lead generation type quiz, this is how you would do it. You would set it up here in assessments, and then you would add it to your landing page. The analytics in Kajabi have improved greatly over the last few months. There is so much information that you can get here in the analytics. You can customize to the time frame that you want to view. You can compare to previous periods. You can look at your different currencies. You can even customize the view. If you want to remove a block, you can add some blocks in here. If you want to look at something different, depending on what's important for you. So there's lots of abilities here to see what information that you want to view on a regular basis. So that's like your custom dashboard area. Then we also have the reports area. There's a lot of reports in here. You can pretty much find a report for almost anything that you need inside of your Kajabi account. There's a description on the side here of every single report so you can know exactly what that report is for. But as you can see, there's a lot. You probably can get all the information you need here for what's happening for your Kajabi site. Now, the media library is a new addition to Kajabi, just released a few weeks ago. They have added some new stuff in it. I've actually did a full video walkthrough of this media library just last week on my YouTube channel. I'll put the link in the description. Now, if you do go watch that video, they've had an update since I recorded that now inside of the media library, you can also do images and files. So if you take a look at upload media here, you can see it's videos, audios, images, and files. You can put all the stuff that you need in Kajabi here in your media library. You can reuse your videos on multiple places and it will even tell you where they are. I'll open up this video right here just so you can quickly see inside. Again, go watch the full video, link in the description. But basically you can see the locations, some information, some data, all that kind of stuff here on your videos. This is a game changer when it comes to organization. It is going to be so great. I can't wait to start playing around with the images in here now that I can actually upload images in advance. You can bulk upload things. This is going to be a huge time saver here, especially the analytics. That part is really important when it comes to your course videos. Being able to see the analytics way better, more detailed in this new media library is definitely a huge asset to us as business owners. Now, the last section down here at the bottom is the more section where the branded app information is sitting. Now, the branded app is included in pro accounts. If you don't have a pro account, then you have to pay $1.99 per month to have access to the branded app. Now, you can go use the Kajabi app. Your members can use Kajabi app. You just have to tell them it's a Kajabi app in order for them to know to go get it. But if you want a branded one that doesn't have Kajabi on it, you can definitely get that set up here in Kajabi. All the information is here, what's included, what's not included between the two different apps. And any questions you might have, they're probably answered here on this page. So you can just click on branded app, get more information on that. Creator Studio, this is another piece that it's hit or miss on whether or not you want to use this. It's to help with your marketing, the content, repurposing videos, clips, all that kind of stuff. So it's one of those places that either you have something else, like another platform that you're using to chop up your videos and use them for social media, or if you're new and you don't have those platforms or you don't want to pay for them, you can come and do it here in Kajabi. Creator Studio is an extra cost if you're not on the pro plan. So again, it's one of those features that's in the higher plans. Expert services and custom templates, those are basically just outside websites linked in here for you to go check out if you need to hire an expert. Hopefully, if you're looking for a Kajabi expert, that you reach out to me and Malva, because that's what we do. We help people manage their Kajabi sites and set things up and get things running. And we also do teaching just like I am today. Custom templates, we do have links to custom templates on our website. You can get those at onitvirtualservices.com. And you can also go and visit the Kajabi templates. You'll see ours in there as well. If you go peek around, you'll see Malva and I's templates in the Kajabi store as well. Now, we can't forget about the settings area. It is on the far bottom left sidebar. That has a lot of different options that you do need to go through. As you can see, there's lots of little cards here that you definitely need to be familiar with pretty much everything in this area here. Okay, so take some time, click through them all, look at everything. Basically, for you, if you haven't jumped into Kajabi yet and you're just wondering what's going on in it, I'm not going to go into every single detail here, but there's a couple things I wanted to point out specifically that I haven't mentioned yet in this video. First and foremost, you can set up taxes in here. If you're using Kajabi payments, it can add the tax on top of your purchase. So instead of you having to calculate the tax and take it out of the sale price, it will add it on top, but that's through Kajabi payments. So that's an option there. You also have the option of setting up your own custom domain. So your URL. So our URL is onitvirtualservices.com. You can put that and set that up right here in Kajabi so that you don't have to use Kajabi's URL. Okay, because they do give you a subdomain that you can use that works fine, but it says Kajabi in it, and you don't really want to be marketing yourself with the name Kajabi inside of your URLs. The custom domain is great there. Same thing with emails. You can set up custom emails so they come from your domain and not Kajabi's. But if you don't have a domain or you don't want to set up the email marketing, you can use Kajabi's domain. It has a very good sender reputation, so less chances of it going into spam when you send your emails. So that's a really good feature. There's integrations and webhooks. So for the more advanced users, yes, you can connect things through the API and webhooks and stuff, but you do need to have a pro account for that. For login, we do have to use two-factor authentications to keep all of our site secure and safe. So that's a really good feature. There's also the ability to download your tax documents from Kajabi, specifically for the US users here. You can get that all here. You can manage your users. So if you have one of the higher accounts, you can have 10 users in here. So if you have a team, you can really grow and have people with their own logins. So you're not sharing your master login, which is not a good thing to do. You can manage your subscription, account details, all that other kind of stuff, all within the settings area. So lots of stuff for you to check out here for inside your Kajabi account. So I know that was a really quick overview of Kajabi. So if you want to get a little bit more in depth into some of these areas, go ahead and watch either this next video that comes up if that interests you. Otherwise, there'll be some more related videos in the description of this video that you can go and click on and check out more details of Kajabi. We'll see you in the next video.